I don't know what the deal is with this fucking laptop, guys. It's a lot of things going on, man. Episode 74 of Inside the Rapper Studio. Today we're gonna have BD from the county on, talking about some few interesting things. Shout outs to you guys. Talking about working title podcast, working with demo tape, working with the youth, things like that. We got the star of the show on. I'm just gonna give a few like updates for everybody, then just go straight to the show. Up next for Spacey TV, I got a little project coming out. I'll give you details at the end of the show, but I want everybody to like know about it just so that you can get as many people as involved. Still doing the giveaways. Got 4 passwords for today. Well, the 4th password for today. Last password tomorrow. Collect all 5. Get a hat, robe, and a sticker. Easy way to get some stuff. So let's go ahead and get this started. Wonderful guest on today. Shouts out to you. Ethiopian Coffee Gal. Shouts out to Beth Banger. Shouts out to Dad Cito. You hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's get this thing started. Everybody, welcome to another exciting episode of Inside the Rapper Studio. Episode 74, to be exact. Of course, I'm your host, Score Swayze. Today, we have a very special guest who I won't even do the insult of the like introducing this man because he introduces himself every Monday morning for Working Title Podcast. So I'll let you do the favor. So go right ahead.
Hey, Jack, I do have a robe on.
Oh, I peeped.
I had to do my brother justice. Look,
very classy.
They call me BDJ, BD from the county, the voice of the county. I see the game like Romo, a.k.a. I see the game like Lamar, a.k.a. Mr. Any Given Sunday, a.k.a. Mr. Monday Morning, dubbed by the illustrious Score F. Swayze himself. Am I in heaven? I'm not in heaven. Well, I am in heaven. Every day is heaven, you feel me?
Talk to him. Everybody, please drop cards, drop comments, drop likes for the one, the only BD from the county.
Yes, sir.
That's a fucking.
I left my title belt in the crib. I'm sick about it.
I mean, everybody upstages me with their robes. I bring the old like. I bring the very Walmart essential ass everyday robe.
And Uncle robe.
And then niggas come in with the polo and shit and the Cost robe. Like, guys gonna hit me with a Versace robe before the show is done. And that's when I'll tired and I'll just start wearing regular ass beats.
The Versace robe.
It's gonna happen. But my brother, how you feeling today, man?
Nah, life is good. I made it. It's 8 o'clock, so we almost another 24 around. So I can't complain, bro. It's like Hov said, I live by the mantra, the gang got valleys and peaks. And we at a peak right now. I'm chopping it up with my brother, Score Swayze. I'm on Score Swayze TV. I've been waiting to be on this motherfucker, bro. I've been itching. I'm actually come out. I'm like, dang it.
I'm actually glad that you said that because I do have to tell a very personal story for the viewers. In the inception of Spacey TV, when I first started it, I was in a very, very, very dark place. Didn't really know where the career was going. Didn't really know how things were going to shape out in terms of like heading towards musically. And it was one time actually at After Work Volume 1, if I'm not mistaken. It was around March of last year.
So I was very drunk that night. So I remember the conversation, but
it was good though. Like you came up to me and said, "Yo, I love what you're doing with Spacey TV. Keep your work." Mind you, I'm a month in. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. Like I'm still making those weird, like chopped up videos and shit just to get people to look at my shit. And here we are, a year and a half later. I'm doing as much as I can with this thing. And honestly, it's all really thanks to one simple push from this man right here. So everybody, please. Give this man his roses, give this man his flowers, give this man his hearts, likes, and comments. Like I told you before.
Hey, if you want to show me love, show another motherfucker love. That's how you show BDJ love.
Absolutely.
Pay it forward, you feel me?
Absolutely.
Because that conversation, like you brought that up to me, we were at Swayze TV Live when you were throwing the live show. And you're like, yo, that really kept me going. That really like made me refocus and make me want to lock in more. I was on the verge of quitting. And to me, I was just like, nah, like I see you on Instagram every day. I like what the fuck you doing. So let me respect, you feel me? Like, let me pay that for it. Let me show love. But you never know what your words can do for real. So that's the lesson. I'm honored,
Absolutely.
bro. I'm honored to finally be on here, bro. What we getting into?
You do, man. You're due for it. Well, for ones that don't know how this whole thing works, every episode of Inside the Rapper Studio is told with an origin story from the bottom of the screen. So, tell us how everything got started for the myth, the man, the legend, BD from the county.
Oh man, let's start with the demo tape because I feel like a lot of people know me best from being with the demo tape. So it started with Justice hitting my phone one day. I was a sophomore in college. He texted me like, because I knew Justice since high school. Like, and that's the crazy part about a lot of these relationships. Like, I know Justice since high school. I know Taji since elementary school. You know what I mean? So a lot of this shit goes way back. But yeah, Justice hit me like, hey, let's start a blog because he was a journalism major at the time. He's like, let's start a blog. So I'm like, shit, fuck it. So it's me, Justice, and Creddy Dre. Shout out to Dre, Andre. We were the first members of the demo tape. We started the demo tape just writing shit, trying to have a platform of our own because I wasn't a journalism major and I'm not technically sound in those skills. I don't have that experience. So I was like, fuck, I'm not going to be able to compete with journalism students to get an internship because they are going to class for the shit and I'm in communication classes not learning shit relevant. You feel me? So I learned that shit. Not learned that shit, but we hit the ground running with the demo tape and it just evolved and kind of expanded into what it is today. And then the working title came about because, again, relationships. That's the number one thing. Taji was starting the podcast. He said, hey, bro, like, I would like for you to be on it. I'm like, that nigga, like, what? I love talking. I love running my mouth. You know what I mean? I always wanted to be a radio host or a talk show host. Like, I'm the motherfucker that the first time I stayed up till 11 o'clock, 11:30, seeing a late show and a late night show and a late late show. I'm like, damn, that's the coolest shit ever. So I always wanted to have something like that. So it kind of just evolved from there. You know what I mean?
I have to reel back a bit in the conversation that you said in terms of like being not equipped in journalism because I have to call Cat. That's bullshit. You're one of the best interviewers that I know. If anything, you inspired me when I do this kind of thing. Because like anytime when I listen to like anything from Working Title Podcast, your introductions, your way to keep the crowd going, the way to keep pretty much not just the crowd or the listener, but overall the people that are like in your space. You know what I mean? Like you're
Hold that thought, school, because I love you to death. And K Dot, you talk that shit, I'm gonna burn your ass up. Because I've been waiting for you. I got your ass muted for a reason on Twitter. You a mean for a reason, nigga. Don't come at this one. I had your ass walking out the office crying, boy. My fault, school.
It's fine. Like I'm not gonna lie. I came in expecting a rowdy crowd tonight.
That's how the family do it.
Yeah, that's how the family does it, man. But like
W when we on here.
I was saying before, how essentially like you are the man when it comes to like interviews and one-to-one conversations with people, whether it be like legit candid conversations or overall just straight damn Taji over there glitching. But overall, just like pretty much just having to do your job in terms of like whether it's TDT, whether it's working title, just overall just being on top of things. So I really want to start with that.
Yes, sir.
How did you start with interviews?
So it's kind of weird because with the demo tape, we kind of worked backwards in a way. So we started my sophomore year of college, and then my junior year, I had a couple like connections, just leveraging relationships, and I was able to get like really big interviews that somebody just starting out shouldn't really be getting. You know what I mean? So I interviewed Peter Rosenberg. I interviewed Russ when he first was like starting out. I interviewed I can't even remember bro's name, but he had the song like eight, got a family to feed, got a family to feed. I can't even remember bro's name, but he was cool as shit. But I wasn't equipped to do those conversations, you know what I mean? Like I'm interviewing Peter Rosenberg and I'm asking him, hey, how'd you get started in radio? Like what the fuck? Like it's a million interviews and a million stories like that. So I had to kind of like deconstruct all that and just go back into, okay, if I'm having a conversation with somebody, how do I want it to play out? And a lot of my early interviews and a lot of my early shit, like I really hate because I feel like I didn't fulfill what needed to be done as a writer or from a reader's perspective. I felt like they weren't really compelling to read. It would be like some Q&A type shit or some really basic, really simple shit. So I kind of deconstructed that. And I was like, I'm going to just have conversations with people. You know what I mean?
Got
it's evolved a lot to this point where it's at now.
And if it's one thing that I really have to mention is just having those, it's the R word that's really mentioned a lot around demo tape, which is reps. And
Mm-hmm.
pretty much when it comes to reps, having those early big reps, such as like those home run hits, such as like your Peter Rosenbergs and Russes and things like that.
But bro, I failed at all of them. I feel confidently that I did not do a good interview with Peter Rosenberg, with bro that had a hit single. Funny enough, me and Justice, they like, you about to interview so and so. We don't got no camera yet. I don't even know like who the motherfucker is. I just know the song because it's like one of the biggest songs out at that time. I interviewed Russ. I'm asking Russ like I think I had like 2 minutes or 3 minutes to ask him questions. So I didn't fuck with any of those. And I think reps are important, but I think learning from those L's are important too. Because that's 3 really big L's, and you spoiled at that point. We early, we like a year in and getting major press passes and shit like that. So it's like, oh, it's about to be shit like this forever, and it's not. You feel me? So you just learn game.
Absolutely. Early blessings on and just early blessings forward. And if there's one thing that really sticks out is pretty much the hard work that all of you guys do at Demo Tape. So I wanted to talk about that camaraderie at that side of the table because apparently there are 2 tables that you pretty much clean, like just wipe and wax from time to time, which is like Working Title, being the host, and Demo Tape essentially being like the commander, you know what I mean? Just
That's
run.
right. I'm a 2-sport athlete.
Exactly. Like it's a blessing to be a two sport athlete.
Yeah.
So the first sport in terms of demo tape, I want to talk about the team effort in demo tape. Could you elaborate to us what it's like running a publication like demo tape?
Man, shit is hard. I'm not gonna lie to you. This shit is very hard. And it's hard because when we started, we was looking up to blogs. We was looking up to 2 Dope Boys. We was looking up to Big Ghost is a big influence on me. We was looking up to like that whole blog era, which doesn't exist no more. You know what I mean? So we coming of age in a time and creating something that isn't a thing anymore. So the whole thing has been kind of okay. How do we shift what we're doing? And I had conversations with artists. I think I don't remember if I hit you about it, but I know I hit Mac about it. I know I hit Chris about it. Like, yo, I don't really want to type up your song and just post your song because I want to do something that's going to resonate or bring you new fans, things like that. So we kind of got to change our business model years into what we're doing to kind of accommodate. Like when we started this shit, Instagram wasn't popping the way it was. You know what I mean? Like YouTube was there, but shit is just so different now. People's attention spans have gotten way shorter. So while there is still there's always gonna be room for great writing. It's like, okay, what other shit can we do outside of the writing to make this really work? But a big part of that is Justice. A big part, the biggest part I would say is Justice Honty because he's as hard as people may say I work or think I work. He's the hardest working man I've ever seen. Like it's almost psychotic. I be having time like, bro, like relax. Are you good? Did you eat today? You feel me? Did you go to the gym? Did you do what you need to do? Like self care wise, like are you straight? So that's a big part. He's a big part of it. And then it's just with both the demo tape and both the Working Title, we just cultivate a culture of it's family. You know what I mean? We those are my legitimate friends. If I said tomorrow I don't want to host the podcast no more, take me off the LLC papers for the demo tape, take me off the LLC for the Working Title, like take me off all that shit. I just want to be a regular civilian motherfucker. They will rock with it because those are my friends. Before everything even started, those are my friends. And even Working Title, like Taji was able to cultivate that. So I defer a lot to Taji and I defer a lot to Justice when it comes to culture and big decisions because those are my guys and they haven't let me run. You know what I mean? So
They haven't, honestly. Like if it's anything that you related to earlier, which is bond, you know what I mean, and having 2 strong leaders on both sides of the fence,
mm-hmm.
with the strong leader with Justice Gray and the strong leader within Taji within Working Title, and just having those 2 powerhouses within media, not just like content in Baltimore, but media in Baltimore. You know what I mean? Whereas though like the morning show is dead in Baltimore, but the one.
Yeah. Like, bro, I used to love the Big Fat Morning Show. You feel me? Like Mark Clark, like they used to go crazy, and we don't got that shit no more. That
But
shit kind of hurt.
what we do have every Monday morning at 11 o'clock is
Hey,
Title Podcast.
hey, try that talk. While we on that Working Title, man, I want to give a shout out to Senate Johns. You know, we got the good working title set, the TWC John. You know, you can get all your Senate Johns. These are sold out right now, but you'll be able to get it back. I think they're restocking even this week or next week. But shout out to Thuggo and the Senate Johns, man. Shout out to, man, we have a fucking candle, bro. Like,
who can say that? Who has a candle placement?
That's what I'm saying, bro.
A candle deal. Not just a candle, a candle deal.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I never dreamed of any of this shit. In my wildest dreams, I never saw me going into business with my friends, having an office, having a candle, having T-shirts without shit on it, sweatshirts without shit on it, you feel me, stickers. Like, I never saw any of this. So that's why I'm able to approach it so humbly, because I never, in my wildest dreams, imagined this. Like, I probably thought when I was coming out of high school, like, okay, I'm going to go to school for communication, go to New York, get an internship somewhere, get a job somewhere. But nah, like, the grind has just been more rewarding this way. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather take 10 years but do it with my friends and niggas I love, or take 5 years and have all the success but you lonely as a motherfucker and you sold out, sold your soul. When you come home, niggas don't even want you feel me? They don't even want to grab a drink with you.
Got you. Man, you're jumping right into the topics, and I'm really like the notes that I have like on deck is like, all right, we're gonna cover this at this time, this at that time. No, we're already on like being successful with your friends. Fuck it, let's clean it. Being
That's
successful.
great hosting. That's how you pivot.
You gotta move around, man. But like being successful with your friends, in my eyes, is a goddamn blessing. A lot of people can't say that shit. A lot of people have the stormy boat, the boat in a stormy ship or a stormy sea, whereas though people just jump ship and just abandon ship and abandon all hope before the storm clears and you're at land. And it feels as though everybody that's been on board with Working Title Podcast has a strong enough bond to the point where everybody makes it from land to sea and to land again.
Man, that's a metaphor right there, boy.
I'm
why you rap.
But like, just to have like everybody still on board, how is it feel to like reach, I guess, the plethora of success that you guys have reached already?
I don't even know if I look at it like that, because it's like with every milestone or landmark, you raise the bar a little bit. So it's like, all right, we threw a show. Okay, how can we make next show better? All right, we do a podcast. How can we do a spin-off podcast? Or how can we make video content more popular? So it's like every time we raise that bar a little bit, whether it be a podcast, whether it be an office, whatever it may be, the bar raises even more. So it's like even more pressure. But I don't know. I don't really look at it as like everybody made it so far. I look at it as everybody still riding. You know what I mean? What you say, bro? BJ got a backdrop for a live. Where you at, nigga? Hey man, I'm done. No, if I holler at you, I'll be back round the way on tomorrow.
I was really praying that like you're actually doing a good job ignoring the comments.
I lost my glasses a month ago. I can't see shit.
Oh, perfect then. Not to say that that's a good thing. Don't read into it, because trust me, it's gonna get distracting. We already know the crowd that we're in. We already know what we're doing with this. We already know what niggas came to do. I'm surprised they didn't get a happy birthday yet. If I do, I'm not gonna get angry. I mean, I kind of know the game at this point.
Stop it.
It happens, you know. It happens. But back to pretty much talking about like being successful with friends and just having that strong bond. Do you feel as though this success has made the bond stronger?
Hell yeah, because like, not only are we going to hang out, like let's say it's a regular group of friends that aren't doing a podcast. You probably hang out a Friday night. You feel me? Go to the bar. It's been days where it's like, okay, we going out Friday night, or we going out Saturday night, and Sunday we back at it recording a podcast. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like trial by fire. And now that we have the space to create, and it's like, oh, I seen you on Monday, I seen you on Tuesday, I seen you on Wednesday. I'm not ready to be here Thursday. I'm not ready to be on Friday. I'm gonna see you again Saturday. I'm gonna see you again. You know what I mean? So it's like we're always in contact, whether it be just talking about some real life shit, whether it be talking about some podcast, business, demo tape, whatever it may be type shit. But we're always just constantly in communication, and we always are just constantly like, you know, building that rapport. It's almost like college in a way.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. So, being as though every ship has a role player in the ship, I want us to know what your role is within the ship of Working Title Podcast.
Shit, my role is just to make sure the show is good, bro. Me and Taji was talking about this last week, ironically enough, and it was me, Taji, and Chris. Shout out to Chris, 'cause I just seen him pop in here too. It was me, Taji, and Chris, and they was talking about like my job as a host. And I was like, as a host, I'm basically the point guard, so it doesn't matter if I scored 30 or 40 or 50, or if I have 0 points, 10 assists. You know what I mean? Like I just want it to be a good show every week. So whatever that looks like, kind of ebbs and flows. The way I'm sure that you've experienced with with Inside the Rapper Studio, it ebbs and flows from week to week. So my role was just to make sure the topics are straight, make sure we run through whatever topics we need to run through, make sure like if we need to cut away from something, if we're taking too long or something, kind of gauging that. I'm responsible for making sure we don't run too far over time. And then I started making a cover of us for the episodes too, because I wanted our presentation to be something better. Like I wanted it to be compelling. I posted pictures of ourselves, and I was like, if I never heard of Working Title, and I never heard of any of these guys, it's just going to make me want to tune into it, you know? So the last couple cover arts, we've been like real intentional, real diligent of like, all right, how can we make this relate to the episode, but still be funny, still be comedic? But outside of that, I would say I'm one of the higher reps of the business. Like me, Taji, and Sway, like we the big three as far as like administrative duties, but I'm more locked down on the talent side too.
If it's one thing that it sounds like more than a point guard, it sounds like a quarterback. Like you didn't even
Twan is QB1. I can't take that one. Twan is QB1.
First of all, who shouts out to Twan? I don't want to get all that. Like, I'm the quarterback. But it seems like it's one of those things where, as though right before the ball snap, you do that one last minute check. All right, the top is good. Okay, what's the coverage up top? Are they blitzing down bottom? Like, how's it look on the outside? You got to make sure everything's straight with that within the show, even after the ball snaps.
Yeah.
Even if they press record. And pretty much like having that game management mindset has done wonders for you guys. I mean, first of all, you guys have made it past 100 fucking episodes.
Yeah, like what? That's back to, like, I couldn't imagine this. You feel me? Like 100?
Hundo.
100? We put 100. We record episode 106 on Sunday. Like 106 episodes of a podcast. And interviews. It's crazy, bro. Like it's really crazy. Like I'm really humbled by the shit, honestly.
So how is it having that game management mindset where pretty much you come into the game and make sure everything's good, just the same way you come into the podcast, making sure everything is good? Like, do you have that will going on in your head as things goes along?
Yeah, absolutely. It's always a constant. It's hard because you got to find balance. It was one episode I remember distinctly. Like I was already thinking of how I was going to transition the topic, and Taji made a point about music we were talking about that I made literally the same exact point. So he was like, yeah, I literally just said that. And Ed was like, yeah, he literally just said that. So I'm like, fuck, you feel me? I got caught slipping at that point. But it's like you always try to kind of think of it. I think of it like music. You know what I mean? Like you're not gonna go from an Ashanti record to a fucking like Tekashi 6ix9ine record. I'm sorry, a Rainbow Redacted record. You're not gonna go from that to that. Just like I'm not gonna talk about the NFL, and we're gonna come over here and talk about Will Smith, and we're gonna come back and talk about the NBA. You know what I mean? So I'm always thinking of how can I bridge this topic to the next topic so it flows cleanly. But still, it's kind of hard because you still got to be cognizant of the conversation. You still got to be involved in the conversation. Make sure you know what's going on. Make sure you're listening out, reacting, responding. So it's a lot, bro. It's really a lot.
It's a lot being done, and it's a lot being done successfully. And you, my friend, do it very successfully. I hope everybody's really listening to all this like game that's going on. This is hosting 101. Some of the shit that he's saying, I don't even fucking know. I'm just like, oh, word, yeah. I'm not writing it down, but I'm writing it down. And it's like, oh, yeah, okay.
I'm not going to lie to you, though. One thing I do every episode, I always have notes up. Because my memory is really bad. I'm not good at remembering small details at all. Exactly. You feel me? So I never been the type to, like, feel a way about somebody using notes or feel a way about somebody, you know, whatever you gotta do to make sure. Some people have really good memories, and like Taji's memory is insane, bro. Like Taji can remember some release date for the first DMX album and shit like that. Like I'm not gonna remember that, so I gotta write that down. You know what I mean? I gotta write down. Okay, this is what we plug in this week. This is the song at the top of the episode. This is a specific note about a topic we might be talking about. So I write everything down So I write everything down on my notes, and then I'll have like my rundown on the other side where it's like, okay, these are the topics we're gonna go through. These, and then from usually in order of like most important to least important. So it's like if we got cut time on the back end, we're not really missing out on nothing crucial. So yeah, and it usually goes like that, you know.
Gotcha. Simple enough, you know. So first of all, we've got to what? Damn, 27 minutes. I didn't get the shout outs yet. That's what I call content. I didn't even have to do the goddamn shout outs. Huge shout out to BD for giving me a great interview so far. I'm gonna give a few shouts out to everybody that's on the live right now. Huge shout out to Candace. We got
we got. Yes, sir. Sway. Yes, sir. Sways.
I believe this is the most shady Slim Guwap. The most
yes,
shady.
Sir.
Okay, I'm starting to get the pseudonyms now.
All right. That's the best defense attorney in Gotham City.
We got Schways in the building. We got Jack in the building. Of course, we got Brandon in the building. We got Gryffindor, Golf 11, Diplomatic. Man. Who else we got in here? Sway, of course. Taji, Chris, Working Title Podcast, obviously, is in the goddamn building. Who else we got in here?
We got the family. We got Millie. We got Millie in the building.
These are Friday numbers. I want you to know that these are Friday numbers. I'm very this is.
I'm blessed and honored, man.
Absolutely. So, Mr. B, I want to switch gears in terms of like where we are with the Working Title, and now I want to go to the other side of the ship, which is demo tape. Basically, the job of BD is a writer. So, tell us what it's like being a writer for a publication in Baltimore and on the up and up in Baltimore and being good at it.
So it's hard because like writing was my first love, my first passion probably ever. I got shit from preschool saying you want to be when you grow up. I want to be an author. So writing has always been it for me. Even like I said before, if I feel I don't have the technical skills that a lot of my peers may have, like of words or diction of forming things, putting things together. I feel like my emotion and my voice are distinct. If I write some shit, you're gonna know I wrote it. But it's been hard to kind of balance. Like I've had writer's block for a minute, bro. I think the last thing I wrote was my article comparing Jay-Z. It was Michael Jordan's biggest moments, soundtrack by Jay-Z, like Jay-Z's biggest songs. But since then, I've been trying to find an idea to write, trying to find something to write about. So it's hard. Writing is a lot harder than just talking, you know what I mean? So it's trying to find. I'm in a process right now trying to find where can I fit in, like how can I still use my talents over on the demo tape side to keep everything together and keep pushing that forward too, because with all the success that both sides get, I don't know if it's like I don't know if they have a little internal rivalry, but I know like I want to see both sides win, period. I don't want to feel like I'm leaning too much into one side or neglecting the other side. So it's hard. I'm working on a playlist right now. I want to come up with like a playlist series. I got a whole bunch of ideas, a playlist series or like a weekly news rundown series or some kind of shit like that. But hey, if you in the comment section and you got ideas for me and shit I can write about, go ahead, pass that to your boy. But yeah,
I don't write myself, so I'd much rather be the guy that puts the ideas of what to write. Shit. I don't want to.
Hey, whatever, bro. I need a good idea.
I got you. So I want to talk to you about the art of the write-up. You've done plenty of write-ups. On my first one, thank you so much. But yeah, like you've pretty much like put your foot in terms of demo tape of being the write-up guy, where everything that you describe within a project, an album, EP, whatever the case may be, it will be on point. You would get the point of the project, and you would get your opinion very concisely all throughout. So tell us how it is constructing a write-up.
The first thing I always did or do when I'm writing about somebody's music is listen to it. You'd be surprised, bro. A lot of people they send music to people and they don't listen to it. They just write up whatever's in the press email, whatever's coming through from the PR. Like they'll just write about that. So I always listen to it, and I always try to the artist wanted me to experience, you know what I mean? So if it's a party song, I try to put myself in that mindset. If it's like a rap, a real straight like hip hop song, I try to put myself in that mindset. Then I try to write about it in a way that's like okay, I want people to know, even if they don't know who wrote this, I want them to know that that voice is distinct. So I try to kind of put myself in there, put my own shit in there. I'll make a little joke here and there. I used to have a thing where I used to like just put at least one crazy ass sentence in whatever I was writing. Like I just write some out off the wall like outlandish shit. Like man, like in my it wasn't a write up, but in my Drake playlist, I made a playlist about more life, and I kind of cut it down. I had a sentence in there about like I'm sure that Drake and Kanye made Glow, and then they listened back, and that's why they beefing now because that song fucking sucks. Like that was like like that's like the sentence I put in there. So it's like if you're reading it, you're gonna catch it like, oh wow, he's wilding, like he's going crazy. But if you're not reading it, it's just gonna be like, oh, here's another more life, here's another playlist, shit like that. So I always try to do things like that, and I feel like that's helpful for artists if you're doing a write up because it gives the write up some personality, it gives it some flair. It's not just copy and pasting from whatever the email or the DM or whatever information they gave to you. You're really putting your own spin on it, and I always respect the shit like that coming up. People giving their opinions and giving their own sauce, their own flavor, whatever you want to call it.
Gotcha. If there's one thing that really sticks out through that explanation that you gave me is a word that starts with I, and it's integrity. Talk to us about having integrity within the writing field.
Nah, I talk about the writing, podcast, and this whole. I guess I'm a media figure. This whole game, bro. A lot of the reason that the demo tape is still around, that the working title was seeing 100+ episodes, that me and you can have a conversation after. I think I wrote about you like 2017, 2016, around that time frame. The reason, like, it's people. My boy Dukes just hopped in here. I know him from high school. The reason that people fuck with me and my camp is because we're real, bro. Like we're real. We don't portray a front. Hard when you're a motherfucker that is living out a image or living out a gimmick, it's hard for you to speak the way that we speak because you gotta kind of second guess. Like, okay, is what I'm saying? Does this fit the image? Does this fit what I'm trying to portray? Does this fit what I want people to think I am? We are what you see, bro. Win, lose, or draw. Wins and losses. You see me. You see working title. You see the demo tape. You see all of us, but you know that you're getting it 100%. Like, you know what I mean? Like we're not putting on a facade. So that's the big thing. That's the big thing why I think, in my honest opinion, that's why I think people resonate with us and what we do so heavy. Because like, oh, these are guys that I can see myself hanging out with. You know what I mean? These are guys that I know. These are guys that I went to school with. You might not literally went to school with, but this motherfucker was in my class when I was in high school. This motherfucker was on my track, and we ran track together. So shit like that is always going to shine through. It's always going to cut through whatever bullshit people's putting out. It's always going to last longer.
It's that old quote from that one song that everybody quotes from Drake that Quincy Jones said.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to repeat it, but you got to know what it is. So the next thing I wanted to talk to you about in terms of both sides of TDT and TWT is the office that you guys share.
Yes,
Most
sir.
you guys just pretty much just put a lease on the not a lease on the office, but got space for official work for TDT and TWT. I've just been there twice now. I feel like it's Disney World at this point. It's one of those places that feels like a monument, especially when it comes to the wall and taking pictures near the logo. Like it really feels like when you're at like New York, you got to take a picture near something. Whenever you're at the TDT TWT office, you have to take a picture at the wall. Tell us what office life is with you guys.
So I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Sometimes I just sit in there and I just be sitting. Like I might not work on nothing. I might take like 5 minutes, just be like, damn, we have an office now. You know what I mean? Like, again, back to what I said before, I never dreamed of these things. The office with working title on one wall, the demo tape on another wall. You know what I mean? Like 24-hour keys to it. It's just, bro, it's just great having that space. Because that's one thing that COVID really took from me. Because in my house, I don't have like a dedicated workspace. So I spend a lot of time at a Starbucks or a library just getting shit together, you know, getting ideas on paper, getting things on paper, trying to get my mind in that space to create. Because I knew if I was in the house, I was going to play band or do some old dumb shit, like just get distracted. So having a space where not only I can come, but like my friends can come, and we're in there, and we're working, we're grinding, we're getting to it, sharing ideas, bullshitting, Jack said a lot of Nelly Fresh. Hell yeah, eating good. It's just it's just surreal, bro. Like it's really surreal, and it's cool to see like you gravitate towards it. Max Scott is in there a lot. Shout out to Matt. Just Finago has come through. Lamatic came through. Chris comes through a lot. Like just seeing having a space where different creative people can come through that aren't directly tied to the demo tape or the working title, and hearing their ideas and shooting shit off them. Like it's a blessing, bro. Like I love it, and I kind of compare it to college because like if you had some shit in your major, it's like we're all in the same major, and there's our little study lounge and shit for real. So it's great, man.
Gotcha. If there's one thing I really can like appreciate about what goes on within the office, it almost seems like the perfect balance between work and play.
Yeah,
Whereas though a lot of content is being done, a lot of business, like a lot of meetings are being done, and a lot of business is being done within this office. But at the same time, there's a lot of laughs, there's a lot of enjoyment,
huh?
good vibes, and things like that. So, do you credit that to the energy that you guys put out, or is that just how things are, no matter what space you're in?
I say that we get a lot more work done since we had the office because we were meeting where we meet at Justice Basement, Taji and Sway's apartment, or Taji Sway. I'm not gonna play everybody's name. I don't know. They want everybody to know they live there. Drop a comment. You want me to know. But Taji and Sway's crib, Justice Basement, libraries, TGI Fridays, college campus. Like we're like nomadic almost. While we always had the same energy, it's kind of hard when it's time to sit down and lock in on something. But it's like, oh, the study room at the library is reserved for in a half hour. Y'all gotta get out of here, or it's 9 o'clock. I'm just hitting my stride, but Starbucks is like turn the lights on. Like y'all gotta get out of here type shit. So having that space has really made us a lot more productive because we have somewhere dedicated to just go in there, lock in, joke around, bullshit. I'm not going let if you're creative and you watching this, like don't let anybody make you feel bad about bullshit because you gotta get that necessary bullshit out your system. That's human nature. So we got that space to do that. Yes, sir. We got that space to do that, but nah, man, it's love. It's really love for real. I'm humble, bro.
Like I'm sure it's like a very humble feeling to just like have your work being like physically manifested with on walls of an office space of the work that you guys put in for years. You know what I mean? Whereas
Yeah,
though like working, not working title, demo tape being around since like I want to say 2015, or was it we met at 2015?
it was 20. I ain't should ask before I drank this beer that would not be named. I just told you I'm not good with small details. God damn it! I know it's my sophomore year of college, so that would be 2014, 2015.
Gotcha.
2015.
So
It was
having
2015.
that
It was March
So
2015.
having a 5 year stretch of just straight up like working hard, grinding hard, putting out shows, putting on venues and things like that, and now there's a space where all of that can be conducted. You guys are wilding in the timeline, and just like really having all of that done in a matter of 5 years. It's fast success. A lot of people don't
Yeah.
reach that fast. You know what I mean? Does it feel like time is kind of fleeting you by with everything good going on?
Uh, nah. I just try to take every day for what it is, like the good, the bad, the ugly, or whatever. I try to take that, man. Like I don't know what tomorrow's gonna hold. There was a quote in that Michael Jordan documentary where he said a lot of people fail because they project past experience onto the future. They project past like shit on the future shit. Basically, I'm a double that. So it's like I can't live my life looking at shit that happened in the past, looking at like, oh, the demo tape is here from here, and I can also can't live it looking at like, oh, well, we should be here, we should be fair, we should be complex. You know what I mean? We're putting out better shit, and then like I can't look at it either way. I just gotta look at the present moment. What needs to get done today? What needs to get done this week? What are we aiming for? What are we working towards? What can I do right now in this moment to make sure shit is straight? And when you kind of look at it with that kind of tunnel vision type perspective, you look up one day and you got an office. And you're just working every day, grinding every day, taking your days off. You feel me? Taking your self care, make sure your mind right, your body right, because that's the most important. I know when I was the most fucked up, like mentally, I wasn't creating nothing. Even now, when I say I have writer's block, it's like I have writer's block, but my mind is still sharp. I still will have a conversation in the office that would be worthy of being on a podcast, from jokes to us really like rapping, really talking real shit. So, man, you just gotta take it day by day. Celebrate your successes. Don't dwell too hard on your losses.
Absolutely.
Good.
Man, if there's one thing I really appreciate about an interview like this, it kind of shows me from the other side how to like be an interviewee, because a lot of people don't really figure out the question of who interviews the interviewer. You know what I mean? So like a lot of people, like when we ask questions a lot, when we have to host things a lot, we kind of sit back and like, damn, is anybody gonna talk to me about this shit? You know? And like when you actually get a chance to talk about it, it's just a flourish of words, it's a flourish of vocabulary, it's a flourish of like pretty much words that's been locked down for quite some time. Then when like it just explodes,
it's a different part of your brain being activated.
Absolutely. And I would definitely say I've activated like my learning brain of like learning not only how to be an interviewer, but an interviewee within the same interview. So I have to give you a huge support for that. So thank you very much. Thank you so much for even allowing me to ask you all these TMZ in your business questions.
You ask me whatever the fuck you want. You know how you get down.
That's Fed talk. That's Fed talk.
And that's why we don't fuck with Vlad. It's a lot of media people I don't fuck with, bro. It's a lot of people I don't fuck with. And I don't know malicious or no like I hate you type shit, but it's a lot of people in the way they handle their business, the way they get down. And I'm like, I never wanna rock like that. You know what I mean? So I learned from that too. But I'm a student of the game, regardless.
Absolutely. And we've learned much, much, much from this interview. Huge shouts out to you. Huge shouts out to everybody that's still on this live. I'm gonna give one last little shout out. Down goes the timeline. We got Candace still in here, Valentino still in here, Slim Guwap still in here, Jack still in here, Gabby's in here.
Woo! Yay, Mama Gabs.
Brandon still in here. Got Bar Lutello. He was on this week. Great interview. Check that out. Gryffindor still in here. Mock and Jay. Who else we got? Chef Jules, he's still in here. We got Diplomatic and
so Jules. You said Diplomatic? Shout out to Diplomatic, bro.
So, BDJ, do you have any last words, promotions, or propaganda for the people?
Let's see. Tomorrow I'm doing an interview with the good brothers from Swaver, Bam and Shurshek. I think Bam is banned from the county. No, he's not banned from the county. He's County Kid Bam. I'm BD from the county. I'm from the county. He's County Kid Bam, and Shek is Shurshek, and the Swaver, SWAVOR. Be on the lookout for that. That's going to be a part of After Work Season 4. That's the podcast series we do. We do an interview series in addition to Work and Tell podcast, if you don't know. So we do the Work and Tell podcast every week, and then we also do an interview series. So I'm going to be interviewing those two guys. I did an interview with Max Scott. That should be dropping tomorrow. Justin said it was going to drop today, and I got to get the pay on it right. So we're not going to teach y'all with that, but that's going to be dropping on tomorrow. Like I said, we got the TWT candles when they back in stock. The TWT John, Senate Johns, if you were wondering, we got that.
Right.
We about to make a play again with the merch. We still have some merch left over from our last show, so we about to kind of go in there and look at what inventory and stock we have left, and then make that available to y'all. What else? I don't know, man. If you follow me, you gonna see what I'm working on. You know, so.
Gotcha. Coming up next on Inside the Rapper Studio tomorrow, we got Shay McCoy, photographer extraordinaire, in the building. Going to be talking about a lot of good things, talking about having a great clientele, being on billboards, and just overall success as a Black woman in the photography scene. Really excited to talk about that. Go way back, too. So we're going to have a whole bunch of giggles. Today's password for the giveaway. Yes, there is a giveaway if you're just watching this. I always give away a hat, robe, and a sticker at the end of every week of Inside the Rapper Studio for like the past 2 weeks. Yeah, just 2 weeks. This episode's password is Price. PRYCE. Price. That's password number 4. Get password number 5 tomorrow. Collect them all 5. Send it to me. Be the first one to send it to me. Get a hat, robe, sticker, courtesy of Inside the Rapper Studio on Space TV. It's free shit.
Look at you and your marketing bag. I let her see it.
Free shit. Like, who complains about free shit here? Clearly, I've been wearing a hat for too long. But yeah, huge shouts out to everybody that's in the building. Huge shouts out to everybody that came through, whether it's 1 second, 1 minute, or the entire show. Huge shouts out to IG for not fucking up. I be expecting this shit every episode.
Come on, bro.
A huge glitch. No, I have to shout them out because like they have to do their job eventually. So basically, I shout them out for when they do. So kudos to you guys. Keep up the good work. Don't fuck up tomorrow. I beg you. So from your host, Score F. Swayze, and our wonderful guest of episode 74 of Inside the Rapper Studio, BDJ, once again, thanks very much for joining me tonight.
It was my honor, my pleasure.
Pleasure's mine. Don't even sweat it. I would like to tell you guys, thank you very much.
Hey, hold on. Don't you got an interview on the way?
Huh?
Huh? Ain't you getting interviewed by somebody on my team?
When was this?
Huh? What? Huh? Look at him. Okay. Play coy. That's cool.
But I try to do the pluggings of me like in the beginning of the show, and then later at the show it's all about the bottom screen. So I do have an interview coming up with Demo Tape. Won't tell you who, but I'm very excited to talk with this person because she is a phenom when it comes to the pen, and I'm really
He's a fucking
a legend. But that's coming up next. So from your host, Score Swayze, and our wonderful guest BDJ, I would like to thank you guys very much. And always, and my phone, wash your hands, wear a mask, and stay in the house.
And burn a candle.
Appreciate it, BDJ.
Already.
All right, man. Take it easy.
All right, my guy. Love you.